thanks everyone for joining us. Just to introduce myself, my name is Joe Sadler. I'm the CRO here at Traverse Automation. I'm happy to be joined by Neil and Connor from Lazenby Group. Guys, you want to just give a bit of an introduction to yourselves?
Yeah, I'll start off. My name's Neil Sewell. I'm the CEO of Lazenby Group. I've been here quite a number of years. So welcome everybody.
Hi everyone, my name's Connor. I'm the lead product designer here at Lazenby Group. Been with the company for about 6 years now and dealt with numerous projects in and around the self-service kiosk space.
Excellent. So just to let everyone know, this is recorded, so you can request a shareable link after this to share with other members of the team. And for those who aren't able to join the live call today, feel free to reach out if you've got any questions or anything you feel that we didn't kind of touch upon. But today we're going to be running through shaping the future of check-in processes, and we're going to be really kind of diving into how we can automate the process and reduce kind of front of house resources to reallocate to other areas of the business, and ultimately the perks and benefits of having automated check-ins for hoteliers and holiday parks. Just a bit of an introduction to Traverse Automation. We are automation data and AI specialists. So we've worked in the travel industry for over 17 years, helping streamline mid to back office tasks historically. But since early this year, we partnered with Lazenby Group, who provide manufactured kiosks, currently in many different types of industries. I'm sure you've seen the devices up and down the motorways in service stations, where you can order your food from. But the main kind of part of the call today is focused around attractions, hotels and holiday parks. Guys, just Neil, Connor, just want to kind of talk about the typical problems for those who don't have kind of automated check-in solutions at their hoteliers and holiday parks. Obviously, there's a few on the screen here in front of me. But what would you say are the most common issues that you've heard your customers face prior to obviously having kind of kiosks and solutions?
I would say the resounding questions and answers that come back from customers is that the fact that there's lots and lots of queuing, and the customer satisfaction index goes down. You get a lot of very, very cheesed off customers queuing and getting very upset with themselves.
Yeah, sure. And I guess that more so for holiday parks, because everyone turns up at the same time, don't they? You know, we've all been there at like centre parks, and there's kind of like 30 people ahead of you. I guess when it comes to front of house staff, they're pretty overwhelmed during them times, and it's almost, I guess in a lot of cases, people probably feel that they only need humans on that front desk for probably a couple of hours. But what would you say is, other than that customer experience, what else is kind of, you know, the pain that they're facing?
Well, the different kiosks we do, you mentioned holiday parks and that sort of thing. We've done quite extensive work in and around Disney and Atlanta water parks for Fast Pass. Again, queue busting. So people got a Swatch watch that had an index on the back of it, and they could go up to a kiosk and use a Fast Pass on a watch. Then a kiosk would then send a signal when it was due for their ride to the watch, and then they'd basically jump the queue. So that was quite innovative over in Atlanta. In Dubai, we did quite a lot of the 5- and 6-star hotels, the Sheraton, Hiltons, and that sort of thing, with concierge units. So rather than just having a concierge that was busy opening doors for cars and that sort of thing, people could book taxis or book local restaurants and that sort of thing. You know, so that was a really a good time-saving device for the actual the concierge himself, who seemed to be getting overwhelmed with requests for all sorts of things. So
problems around queue times, is it? It's almost like humans having to remember that they have to upsell and have amenities and stuff like that all could be included within a kiosk, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, a simple book online job like the Premier Inn or the Holiday Inns, which we've done before, it's just a question of going up to the kiosk, putting your details into there, and you could actually get your room key if you wished that way. We've done all sorts of ticket in, ticket out sort of things for all sorts of events and hotels. So yeah, it really does bust the queue, shall we say.
Sure. And Connor, would you say there's any other kind of problems that we haven't covered off that you've faced in your discussions?
One thing I would say is there's obviously been a lot of studies or research done as to how many people actually want to use these kiosks, and you see upwards of numbers of, say, 70% of people prefer to use an automated check-in or kiosk solution rather than dealing with a person in or face to face.
Who knew that the UK was in a position where they don't like socialising? Kath, did you have a question? I think I saw your hand raised.
Please, sorry, yes, please.
Yeah.
You know, the automated kiosks.
Yes.
Does that not itself produce another queue? Because I would probably be slower on a kiosk than somebody checking me in, for example.
Yeah, so we've had this scenario or question before, actually. So typically say if you had 3 or 4 people front of house that would be checking in people, if there was like 2 or 3 kiosks in your hotel, normally you'd have a human that's going to help the people that don't really understand how to use kiosks and so forth. And actually it's a lot simpler. You know, sometimes it's, do you have your email there, or do you have your email copy? Sometimes there might be a barcode scanner, and simply by scanning or just typing in their surname and reference number from their booking, then it just puts all their details up on the screen, and they simply just click, yep, confirm that's me. And actually within the click of 3 or 4 different buttons, they could have their key dispensed if it's key dispensers, or sent to a locker, which I'll come on to the solution in a moment. But it's actually a lot more simpler. But this is why as well, Kath, companies like Traverse and Lazenby combined as a partnership, we actually offer proof of concepts at first site. So you get to really kind of test it at one site, get a feel for it before really kind of investing in it across, multiple hotels. So you can see the benefits, you can understand the business case as well. But yeah, I'll dive into the solution so you just get a good understanding of it. So it doesn't matter what system you use for back office or booking systems. Traverse Automation are a systems integrator. So we actually can create the automation directly through to a branded kiosk, which the kiosk is then supplied by Lazenby, and then ultimately having that information, the booking information already in your kiosk, it can dispense key cards. It can even send, if it's a physical key, through to a locker system, leisure access and amenities. So if they need a key card to get through to the gym and leisure facilities, direction instructions if it's not a hotelier, and they need to go out of the reception lobby, ANPR integration. So for your car, this has always been a win for a lot of companies. I think rather than go to a separate machine and typing it in, we can do all the ANPR integration, and then credit upsell. So if sometimes a lot of hoteliers and holiday parks often put credit onto a card, that card can be used to spend money around the facility. And I think, Neil, you've touched upon this before, a lot of people end up not spending all their money over a certain period of time, and there's enough money left on the card. For how long, I don't know, it stays on the card until it's then forgotten about, but that happens quite a lot as well, doesn't it?
It does, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely does.
So I just wanted to touch upon something with regards to the physical keys. Connor, can you explain a little bit more about the locker system with the kiosks?
Sure. So for both solutions, you would have an interactive terminal of some description, and then instead of having an RFID card dispensed from the machine, what you would do is it would point you to a locker number where, similar to how you've got your postage lockers, your Amazon lockers, that kind of thing, the door will pop open and you'll be presented with the key for that your particular room or lodge or whatever that may be. And then it also gives you the ability to return that key to the kind of in the same locker upon when you're leaving the site. So it kind of manages that whole kind of system for you, and say automates it. And again, you through probably the same interface that you would have if you had multiple sites. You would have the same interface across, even though you have a different, either an RFID or a key solution. You're still using the same product.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So I guess as well, the other upsell opportunity is like late checkout, because I know that I've been to a Travelodge before and they've offered, would you want to extend to a late checkout for an extra £10 or whatever it is, to extend it to 12 instead of 10. That's another good opportunity there for upsell. So with regards to system downtime, Neil or Connor, obviously this is a system that's synced at the start of the day or the previous day, so all the data from the booking system is actually synced. A lot of hotels occasionally get downtime in their booking system, but obviously one of the perks here is that it can keep working. I guess one of you could you touch upon that and explain in a little bit more detail how that works?
Connor, do you want to take that on?
Well, I say that's again probably something kind of it would be to do with the software integration. You would, as I say, download the booking data for that day or for that next 4-hour period, whatever it may be, and that would be held locally on the machines. So if there was any downtime, yeah, that data is still stored in cache or in memory, so it would still be able to kind of operate as usual. And I say if there is any kind of instances where a booking has been updated or something of that ilk, they can always be pointed to the check-in desk for human intervention.
So does anyone have any questions on the kind of the flow diagram in front of me and how it might impact you guys at all? No? Okay. Let's just touch upon the benefits. So obviously there's a few on the screen here. Enhanced efficiency and speed, improved guest experience, operational cost savings, enhanced data collection. This is a big one actually, and it's probably the most common question. So a lot of companies, certainly if it's sold through a third party, often can't utilize that data for marketing purposes. But this, Connor, I wonder if you've touched upon this before with one of our clients that we're speaking with at the moment. We spoke about the marketing data. It was a good opportunity where we kind of add a step in there to collate that data for marketing purposes. That's a big request, isn't it, from a lot of your clients?
Yeah, definitely. As we see across all industries, that data is kind of key, and it's a lot of things. When people first initially look at kiosks, it's not something they recognise. It's like, let's say, the additional benefits that you can get from that, say, marketing shots, email shots, kind of offering offers as well to customers for kind of rebooking. You've also got what was the other thing? It's gone.
All good.
We did have a situation in York and local hotels where the hotel was adding an extra revenue stream through advertising for local restaurants and attractions as well.
That was it, yeah.
Oh.
So we had a scenario where the particular concierge kiosk became an interactive kiosk where they were getting the key cards as well as vouchers for local restaurants with money off as well. So the hotels and attractions were getting extra revenue streams through the advertising on the screen as well. So obviously this is something that Traverse would do. They'd put the advertisements on there for local attractions, etc. And that would become an extra revenue stream for you guys on the hotel side and attractions.
Good. So for those who are unsure about taking a jump, and I'm sure you've been here many a time, guys, to change that to an automated check-in system, change their process, what would you say the key benefits and reassurances that that we can provide to address their concerns and show that value? Neil?
Sorry, Joe, I lost you completely there.
Did you? Okay. Yeah, I'll say that again. So for those who are unsure about taking the jump to an automated check-in system, what would you say is the key benefits and reassurance that you could provide these people?
Time after time, Joe, it always comes back to the same thing. When we rolled out for Debenhams before, they were losing so much revenue at sale times, between 35 and 70% it's all about the customer experience index, really, for us. We hear it all the time. People have got to, especially when you get all these Trustpilot and that sort of thing, their experience is everything. So from beginning to end, walking into, whether it be an attraction or a hotel, that customer satisfaction index has got to be key to the operation of the hotel. Making that as smooth and as easy as possible is everything to that industry. So just making that path as seamless and as painless as possible is key for all of that nowadays. And when you come onto attractions and hotels, should we say, the population who have been brought up in the digital age do prefer to use kiosks, and they, more than I do. I mean, obviously I shouldn't say that, but I make these things, but I like to go in and make everything as painless as possible. And we've had this from the young lady earlier on. It's is it Kath? A lot of people get flummoxed by that, and when you get an integrator on software such as Traverse, these guys know exactly what they're doing and make that transition between going in and actually getting a key or a voucher or whatever that may be as painless as possible. It's all to do with the interface. If the interface is right, make it easy as possible. Simple questions, yes, no, done, you're through. It's easy. It's just about enhancing that customer experience from walking in to getting your keys, walking out, or vouchers or whatever that may be.
Yeah,
customer
that's
journey.
great. That's really good. And do you guys have any kind of stats on like resources saved, or perhaps check-in time increase, or any kind of statistics that you've got off the top of your head? I hate to put you on the spot here.
Not off the top of the head. We don't always get a great deal of feedback once we've actually installed. I can tell you for retail or QSRs, quick service restaurants, the on sell for a QSR. If we look at McDonald's, it's an upsell of 20%. If you look at Costa, it's 30%. And the way the technology is going now, as in the actual the cleverness of the software integrator, they're finding different ways and algorithms to make it even better, to upsell even more. Again, even in the QS quick service restaurants, they're using that space when it's what we call dead time, when it's not being interacted by a customer. They're using it for advertising, and they're getting an upsell for local amenities, and that is a big thing. While it's stood idle, it's advertising and making you money as well.
Yeah, no, that's great. I know that when we've been speaking with a lot of hoteliers and holiday parks, the main thing is the front of house resource, like reducing it during peak times, allowing it to free up to work in other areas of the hotel. And I noticed that it's on average 40 to 50% in saving against human resource, or that is the desired amount. But obviously having that upsell for in hotel restaurants or even local amenities, having the spa access or spa upsell if there is massages and stuff is obviously a great way to make extra revenue. Does anyone have any questions at all? Any questions for us at all today? No? Okay. Well, if anyone does have any questions that might be watching this on demand, feel free to reach out to us. Neil, Connor, anything else you want to touch upon before we kind of close out?
I just want, if I could ask a question myself
Go on.
to Kath, do you think we've answered the question, Kath, of the problem of actually interacting with the kiosk? We do get this a lot, and it's once it's in place and it's being used, and certainly if you have a customer service guy or lady there on the first few weeks, it just becomes second knowledge, really. It's quite simple. So if we've answered the question, I'd be quite happy.
I'm not sure that you have, because I would think it would be better if I could see the machine in action.
Okay.
You know, pop along somewhere and see somebody check themselves in. That would make more sense to me personally.
Okay. I'm sure Joe could organise that. I mean, we can send a kiosk over to you, or you can come to us. And go through.
We're local, so I mean, Kath, at best at Traverse, we could show you probably a test kit in probably the next few weeks or something. Or alternatively, Neil, is there like somewhere local to Kath that we could just send her to a hotel to go and do a bit of a recce?
I'd have to have a look, to be fair.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, cool. All right, Kath. Well, I'll drop you a message after this, and then I'll arrange something for you. But I know that Neil and Connor will welcome you to actually see the manufacturing facilities, whether you actually see any kiosks in action there, because we then put the solution on post manufacturing. So yeah, we'll definitely arrange something for you to see something in action.
Absolutely.
Great,
Cool.
thank you.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thanks everyone for your time. Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Connor. Really appreciate your insights. And yeah, look forward to speaking to you guys soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,